Ocean Pines is a vibrant residential community nestled on Maryland's eastern shore. With over 9 miles of waterfront property, amenities like an 18-hole championship golf course and a public yacht club, and a rich history dating back to 1968. Of course, if you live here, you probably know most of that. And if you don't, it's almost all apparent from your first visit. Each week on the Pines Cast, we work to bring out the ocean pines that might be less apparent. We celebrate the region, the amenities, and, most of all, the people who make and keep Ocean Pines a special place to live. Welcome to the Pines Cast, your source of news and insights about Ocean Pines and the official podcast of the Ocean Pines Association. This week we are speaking with Bob Cipretti and Nick Bertino about the Ocean Pines Yacht Club. Nick is the new chef, and Bob is along to kind of introduce him and talk about some of the things that have gone on so far in general F&B over at Ocean Pines and what they're looking forward to for the most part for the immediate future, as well as some of the things they're doing to make sure that everything is as good as it can reasonably be every time. That's a real important thing to these guys, but you'll hear it for yourself because I'm going to hand them over to you right now. Here are Bob and Nick. Well, Bob, welcome back, and Nick, hello. It is great to have you. I guess the last time we talked, we were hoping about what was going to happen, and we at least now know the beginnings of how the yacht club has gone. So what I'd like to start off with is, kind of how did Nick end up doing the job that he's doing?
Well, I think I'm going to have Nick answer that question because
all right.
I was not involved in the hiring process of Nick. I got to meet him after he was brought on board, and I'm happy he was selected by our operations manager, director, Matt.
So Nick, how'd you get the gig?
So I spent the last about 9 years in Florida. I'm originally from here, moved to the state of Florida, and worked my way up through there. Got a lot of training there and wanted to spread my wings and fly. So looked online, saw the Indeed post, submitted my resume. Matt got with me within about 12 minutes. We set up a formal interview, and about a week later, we got down to business, and I was up in Maryland within 3 weeks of talking with him.
And so what were you doing in Florida, and how did that bear on what you're doing now?
I was the executive sous chef of a place called the Sailor's Return in Stewart.
I thought it was the Waffle House.
So I learned a lot with fish, a lot with similar clientele. I learned a lot of what they do like and even more of what they don't like because they will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And that skill set's definitely transferred. I worked my way up through as a line cook, became a manager, was able to sort of sharpen my edge on the leadership front. And I think those skills have definitely treated me worthwhile up here.
And so about when did you start? Were you there for opening? Were you there before opening, or did you come on after?
I was there when we switched to 7 days a week. They were taking care of things in my absence before when I think they were only doing weekends.
Yeah, we're open, I guess, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, up until, I think, May, right before Memorial Day. But May 1st, we officially opened with the team that we had assembled and our team from Touch of Italy. And we were waiting for Nick to come. And now we're letting Nick create, his own team there.
And that was actually kind of my next question. What did you, when you saw the menu, were you like, this is what I'd like to add, or did it seem okay to you right from the start, or are you still evaluating? Where do you stand as far as menu evaluation for that? Because so are you responsible for all of the different F&B, or is it exclusively the yacht club?
I'm exclusively the yacht club.
And so what did you think of the menu when you came, and or are there things that you felt like you wanted to add? Have you chosen to add anything yet?
As a team, we've definitely gotten together and gone over what the people enjoy, what they want. Mostly, I enjoy cooking what we have to offer. I also am listening to a lot of what the customers are saying as far as what they want to see, what they would like to have on the menu. So all in all, I think minor tweaks were happened, but I wouldn't say a complete overhaul by any means.
And so what has been the response since you got there?
Our philosophy is start off small and weed out what people like, what people don't like, and start to grow. We did that at the golf course. Everybody wasn't happy how small the menu was, but the food was really good. And then it started to grow and grow. We're probably in our fourth iteration of the menu at the clubhouse. Same with the yacht club. We're probably in our fourth iteration of the yacht club menu, because it's a team effort, because a lot of our prep is done in our commissary in Delaware. We all work together to use our strengths and weaknesses. So, originally we didn't have a lot of Italian, and now we have Italian on the menu in a bigger way, because that's what the customer kept asking for. So it's a work in progress and an evolution, and I believe, because it's still on paper and we haven't laminated the menu yet.
Well, and that's the thing, that the extreme upside of taking this kind of team approach is that no one's afraid to come and say, hey, I'm hearing a lot of requests for this, or hey, I'm getting a lot of requests for that. And if they're comfortable, I guess, coming to you guys and saying what they think the customers want, then you can be more responsive than if you have to go out there and ask each diner individually.
Yeah, we do it by consensus. We hear the managers are touching the tables all the time, and then we get together on a weekly basis and talk about it.
And so, do you happen to Nick have any favorites? Is there something that you are particularly happy with? Something that maybe the customers ask for a lot and are always satisfied with?
It's simple. It's the chicken parm. Everybody loves the chicken parm. It's there's a definite wow factor to that, and when you eat it, it takes you back to when you were just knee-high to a duck eating grandma's cooking.
Right.
That's what I'm chasing, is to transport the customer to that place in that time. I think we do a great job of encapsulating that.
And that's one of those things, when you see it on the menu, you're like, well, I probably should have it.
Exactly.
It wasn't on the menu in the beginning. Matter of fact, it just went on the menu like probably in the last 10, 11 days, 12, so we didn't have it on the menu because everybody said, we don't want you to be all Italian. And then it was like, when's the chicken parm coming? The managers and the servers got tired of hearing it. And I was like, all right, we're going to put the chicken parm on the menu. And we got the right equipment in there. And now Chef Nick makes it happen.
That makes sense to me, because you don't want to come in and make this, touch of Italy, Ocean Pines, right? You want to have your own thing, but there are things that you're known for. And I guess once people realize that, they're like, well, maybe a little Italian food.
Now they're asking for a lot of it.
And so, what was the move up here like? Was it complicated? Was it easy? Did you have any trouble moving in? Did you have any trouble finding? Have you found a place, or are you still like couch surfing? Because I know housing can be tough.
It was tough, but thankfully a little persistence paid off. I was able to find a place to stay before I was able to make the move. Touch of Italy in itself, they were more than accommodating for me. They spoke to me probably 2-3 times a week, seeing if I needed anything, if they could do anything for me. So all in all, it was anxiety ridden, but it worked out how it was supposed to. It was pretty easy.
And from your perspective, Bob, how have things been going since May? What you've made these small changes. What has kind of stayed the same? What has kind of been turned on its head? What processes have you changed, if any?
Well, we don't know what the past was, right? Because we were not here.
Right.
Well, we've installed a significant amount of new equipment in the kitchen, which is driven by the menu design and where I think we are now and where we're probably going to go. We need to, diversity depending on the seasons. During the big holiday weekends, we've set up the ability to take some pressure off the kitchen, because sometimes we serve 2,000 people out there.
Wow.
A day, which is a big burden on a small kitchen. And so we've been able to create some different experiences for people, like sausage and peppers and stuff like that, from an outside grill. And we've created different things for different people, for people that aside from what's on the menu. And I think as we start to grow here, and by next season, I think what you see here today will be probably completely different than what's going on today, because we have some significant upgrades and changes that we'll make during the off season to make it even a better experience next year.
I feel like sausage on the grill is more valuable than any advertisement, but that could just be me.
We agree.
I remember I interviewed a Kiwanis guy once, and he was saying that when they go to these big, like these carnivals and stuff, whenever it's slowed down, he would just throw onions on the grill. And all of a sudden people would smell the onions and get hungry. And that reminded me of that. I can imagine walking by and saying, oh yeah, you know what? I would like some sausage and pepper.
Yeah, well, that happened.
It doesn't surprise me at all. So when you say, is there anything that you have kind of on the list that you'd like to see different that you want to talk about, or do you want to?
I don't want to talk about it yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Right. No.
We have an extensive list for all the locations that I think will be welcomed by not only the board but the management. We'll go one step at a time.
Well, because that's the upside and downside of flexibility is you can change whenever you want, and then the trick becomes when do you want to change, or when do you want to see if the change is really necessary, and let things no pun intended cook for a little while.
Correct.
Let's talk a little bit about banquets. Are you doing much banquets? Is that something you're trying to expand into more?
We're executing a lot of weddings that were pre-booked ahead of us before we got here, and we are also booking other weddings and other events as we go forward through the 2025-26 calendar.
And Nick, how did you have a lot of experience with weddings before you got here? Is this something that because when 2,000 people is a lot of people to feed?
It sure is. I've had some experience with weddings. Right now we have our chef from the Dover location overseeing some of the wedding venues and the banquets, and he's been showing me quite a bit on how to execute them and how to make sure the customer is satisfied. So I've been learning quite a bit. I might be the chef, but there's still a lot of learning to do.
Well, one of the things that's always so interesting about weddings, and I mean this in kind of a complimentary way, is if the food isn't horrible, people are already really happy. And so if the food is great, you get a lot of converts. Does that sound right? Is that a story you've heard before?
It sounds about right.
I grew up in a catering hall, where the food was great. And that's how I learned the introduction to this business. So the standards are that it has to be great. So, we're continuing that. And we've had a lot of positive feedback from not only the weddings, but from also the banquets we've had. And
that's the thing about word of mouth. When positive word of mouth begets positive word of mouth. People start raving about your weddings. That's just huge.
Yes, but we want everybody's experience to be great here, and I'm not going to say we're running at 100%, which we'll never run at 100%, but the effort is there. The team here is working hard every day, and every day we try to improve because we've taken the same philosophy at Touch of Italy that every day we have to prove ourselves because you're only good as the last meal you make.
And that's the thing, because once people, I would expect, come there because they have certain expectations, and as long as you continue to either meet or exceed them, you're going to come back. And if you slack off, then that can be a problem.
It could be a problem, and we are going to do everything in our power to avoid that problem.
Hey there, listeners. Are you in the Ocean Pines area and looking for a pharmacy that goes above and beyond? Look no further than Tidal Health Home Scripts. Open 6 days a week, our knowledgeable pharmacists are ready to fill your prescriptions in just minutes. Plus, we offer free home delivery in the Ocean Pines area and have a super convenient drive-through window. Need over-the-counter items? We've got a large selection. And with our monthly sales, you'll find everything you need at great prices. Conveniently located at the North Gate of Ocean Pines, Tidal Health Home Scripts is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. To fill a prescription or arrange for a free home delivery, give us a call at 410-543-4769. That's 410-543-4769. Remember, that's Tidal Health Home Scripts, your trusted pharmacy partner. how's the public reception been now that you've been open for a bit, as far as like the week to week dining?
I guess the public reception is good because they keep coming. We're busy, and we don't follow the social media stuff, so
You mentioned, yeah.
we stay away from that. Because, that we don't have time for that, right?
You don't work for Mark Zuckerberg.
No. And if anybody's got a problem, like I've always said, and I did this 2 days ago on the radio at Ocean 98, just call me. 914-906-0175. That's my cell number. Call me. You have a request. We'll try to do the best we can to make it happen.
And do you have a story that you'd like to share about someone who actually called you and what happened? What came of it?
Well, I'll tell you a really good story about a gentleman that lives here. His name is Sean. He's a great guy. Comes all the time. And in passing, he said something to me during 4th of July. He didn't call me. He grabbed me. He said, "Hey, I think if you move the music on Sundays from 6:30 at night to 3:30, 4 o'clock, you'll get a better reception." And I thought about it, and I said, "You're right. Even though it's summertime, except on like Memorial Day or Labor Day or 4th of July, a weekend like that when the holiday is on a Monday." But we did that this past weekend, and we got a big reception, positive reception, where a lot of people came out all at once, and we had a really great Sunday, and people appreciated the entertainment, and we appreciated taking care of our guests. So that's going to be something that's going to happen all the time. And we're going to go from there. So we appreciate Sean's input. That was one of them. We've had many. There's one lady that asked me for umbrellas and tables around the tiki bar. She's 100% right. I'm waiting for the tables to come so we can put the umbrellas up. It's hot as hell out there sometimes. And I wouldn't want to sit out there either. So she asked me early going on, and we're a little late with that, but they're coming.
Oh, and along those lines, you had some big plans for the beach club. Can you bring everybody up to date on how things are going at the beach club?
We've made some significant improvements in there this past year to get the place open. We have a great manager. Her name is Linda, Lynda, and she's been there a long time. And her and Stephanie and Olga have done a really good job there. The food is really good. Service is good. When the sun shines, it's great. When it rains, it's not so great.
It hasn't stopped raining. My grass is up to my knees now. They're gonna have to do it with a blowtorch eventually.
It's been tough. It's been tough, for sure.
And I want to go back to the afternoon music, because that does make perfect sense, because now that Ocean Pines is a year-round community, a lot of people have work on Mondays, even though, it used to be that people were just there for a vacation. But now that many, if not most people, still have to work on Monday, it's nice to be able to come out and have some music and still get to bed at a reasonable hour.
Exactly. And it's even probably good for our staff too, because by the time Sunday comes around, they are a little tired and beat up because, Friday and Saturday is a big effort here.
Yeah.
A welcome one, but it's a big effort.
Yeah, there's that. You get the adrenaline rush from doing all the work, and then the adrenaline you run out of, and it's nice to be able to have a more leisurely day.
Right, Nick?
What are you doing in your time off? Are you getting much time off? Are you able to reintegrate and connect with old friends and things like that? Like how missed were you, and are you happy to be back, I guess?
Oh, how missed was I depends on who you ask. I've been able to spend a lot of time with my family, which was a big drive for me to come up here. If I get off at a reasonable time, I'm able to go have dinner with my parents, something that I haven't been able to do in the last decade. So small things like that, go a very, very, very long way. So, we might only have 6 weeks left of, summertime, but with that kind of energy, like I'm ready for, another whole other season.
And so and do you have anything in mind for the fall or for the coming weeks that we can tell people about? Anything, special or anything you're looking forward to personally?
I do know that we are going to be running a steak option that the people have really been requesting. So we were able to buy some sirloins, and we were able to dry age them for how long?
40 days.
40-day dry age on them, which is, some really cool technology that I've never used before. So Bob's been teaching me a couple of things. And I'm very excited to see the turnout for that because, again, I've been listening. I know the people want their steak option. So I'm very excited to be able to offer that to them.
Can you tell me a little bit about the dry aging process? I don't know anything about it at all. Like, how do you, or Bob, I guess would be the person. But why dry age and how dry age? I guess.
So why dry age? Because dry age just makes the product that much better when you cook it and you serve it. It takes the moisture out of the product and it increases the flavor profile of the marbling of the product that you're going to serve. We have a state-of-the-art dry age machine in our chef table at the commissary in Rehoboth, where we will put the product in this special machine, and it literally over time it dry ages it. You can see the moisture coming out of the product, and for lack of a better word, the callus and the mold building on the product, which is a good thing, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And then we pull it, we cut it, and Nick cooks it. And we have one of the premier steak broilers in the country sitting on the line there at the yacht club. So that makes it even easier to execute.
And so I didn't want to guess, but now I'm going to guess. So this is like when you see the steaks like hanging behind the glass or whatever. Is that?
That's correct.
Yeah. No, that is a premium. You know you're going to get whatever. If you buy good, you get better, and if you buy okay, you get good. Is that kind of how it is?
That's a good way of explaining it. Yes.
And so it's funny because when someone says, if someone had said to me, I'm not, in the business, I want more steak, I'd say, okay. And I just get some steak and put it on the menu. And I think it's interesting that you're like, well, we'll get steak, but we're going to do it in this particular way. Is that just because you'd rather do it better than just do it sooner?
If you're going to do it, you should do it right. We're a firm believer in that. And I believe that if they want something as simple as a steak, they should get the premier steak. And if they have to wait a little bit for it, so be it. Long term, I think they'll be great.
And what have you learned about how to prepare them? Were there any like glitches, or are you pretty comfortable with them now? What's that looking like?
I'm fairly comfortable with them. Not too much on the cooking side changes. Visually, they are different until you cook them. So that was a little bit of adjustment, as Bob mentioned before, the mold and whatnot. That's flavor.
We have a steakhouse in Bally's in the casino up in Dover, Delaware, and our grill master will probably come here just to coach through. Not that Nick doesn't know how to do it, but on a Saturday night when there's 1,400 tickets coming in, people coming in, it's always good to have an experienced grill man there because Nick do it all by himself.
It's funny. I was actually talking about this on a different podcast for a different reason, but the point is the same. It's when you get crazy busy, you have to know that you're not paying the kind of attention that you should be paying, so you have to pay more attention. Was kind of the gist of that conversation. And you have to increase your focus as your busyness increases. Does that sound right to you, Nick?
And that's why the menu design is really important. That's why you can't have 400 items on the menu, because you can't do 400 things great.
And so tell me a little bit about the grill master. Do you want to say his name and his kind of background a little bit?
His name is Darnell. He's a retired disabled veteran from the Army. He's been with us probably since we opened the doors at Royal Prime Steakhouse. He's a gentleman. He's come down to help us many times he's the grill master at the Sauce and Pepper Station, Memorial Day and 4th of July. Always got a smile on his face, and he's just a talented guy that knows how to make a steak. And it's real simple: salt and pepper, and make sure you got a good product. And that's
but I love the fact that you have like a grill guy that you can move around if necessary. That's just a kind of and I don't want to blow smoke, but it is really kind of a next level commitment to making sure you get what you want.
Well, we have a bench, which is really good because, while we were waiting for Nick to get here, we had to open up, right? So,
right.
We had our chef from Lewis come in and, take the helm until Nick got here. And now he's here helping Nick 4 or 5 days a week because we were able to move him out of Lewis and somebody else stepped up. And then we have Peter Todd Scioli, who really runs the kitchens of all the Touch of Italy's. So Nick has a big support team here. So he's not on an island. We don't just like leave it to him and like leave him alone and you figure it out for yourself.
Right.
We all figure it out together.
That's fantastic. Well, we are starting to kind of run up against it. So I want to give Nick a chance to say, I feel like I should have asked you more questions, but I didn't know anymore. So what should I have asked you that I didn't ask you? What did you think that you would get a chance to say, or what would you like to say that I haven't given you the chance to say yet?
Well, I had no expectations going into this, to be completely honest. Mostly just want to extend my gratitude to the community for allowing us to be into the yacht club. It's a big deal in this community, I believe. To be able to execute every day successfully and to see all the people coming in. We have people coming in 5-6 times a week. And for me, I wouldn't ever go to a restaurant 6 times a week unless we were doing something right.
Well, and actually that did bring up a question that I should have asked, which is what's the difference between how much did you go to the yacht club when you were a kid or when you were a younger man, and what are some of the radical? I mean, because you went to the old yacht club, I would guess, if it was a decade.
I did grow up with the old yacht club. So growing up, we launched our boat from the yacht club over there, and occasionally we would stop in, maybe get a burger or something, but nothing crazy. As of recently, I've been able to see more of my family coming in, which is wonderful. I've been able to see a lot of neighbors, people that I've seen throughout, in church and whatnot, coming in and saying hello. And that sense of community is something that's next level around here. And I'm very grateful to have that.
His mother did a good job raising this young man.
And how about you, Bob? Is there anything that I didn't give you a chance to say that you wanted to say before we get all closed up here for the day?
Just thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to do this and be able to communicate with the community. And I look forward to sometime in October to having another town hall.
And before that town hall, if you have when you know what you're doing in the fall, like when you're ready to announce what you're doing in the fall, I'd love to have you on and talk about it.
Awesome. Just great. We'll reach out and we'll make it happen.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your time, and have a great weekend.
You too, Tony. Take care.
Have a good one.
Great chat as always. Looking forward to hearing back from them the next time we get to. Before I get to the goodbyes and end credits, I want to welcome our new executive producer, Sarah Ash. This is our first show together, and I think she did a splendid job, and I want to thank her and look forward to working with her going forward. The Pines Cast is an Ocean Pines Association production. It was written and edited by me, Tony Russo, executive producer, Sarah Ash. We would love some feedback. Let us know. You can reach me at my email address, bytonyrusso@gmail.com. That is bytonyrusso@gmail.com. So guest suggestions, topic suggestions, gentle corrections, or little insights that you think people should know, let me know, and I will pass that information right along. And we will catch you next time on the Pines Cast.